Mechanic needed something. I appreciate your patience. Interesting thing about sanding is most everything you'll do, and you'll be able to see as you're doing it, except sanding. Sanding, you're actually covering the surface that you're sanding as you're sanding it. So what you have to do is take strokes and then look and see what you did blind. Um, Chiseling is a little bit different than that. Sanding and filing both have that in common. So you have to kind of creep up on it. Kind of the nature of the beast. It's wild, right? That's the most refining part. And you literally do it blind to what you're doing. The results are only available. We also did a semi-rough sand yesterday, 100 grit over the whole cane just to get all of the epoxy that I had previously applied off and get back down to raw wood that we could carve and work on. I feel like that was a great success. Really starting to become what we intended. That is very gratifying. It's not there yet, but I can see it now. Sometimes it takes a while to even know if you're ruining it. Particularly on something you're doing for the first time. A new design or a new skill set. New material. Sometimes a new temperature. Thank you for your likes. I know y'all are probably busy at work right now. I'm awaiting an opportunity to go to work. Once my buddy the mechanic out there gets my truck back going, I should be back on that renovation, that restoration, I should say, that I'm doing right now. The exterior, west side Atlanta, historic West Atlanta. The interesting thing about these folks is I met them through the gentleman that taught me plumbing. He is a full-time plumber, and that's all he does. And he knew these folks, and HGTV had done some work for them. The homeowner is a retired officer of the law, and his wife is a preacher. And his brother, who was living with him at the time, who had lost his leg, was a veteran. And of course that made for a great storyline for HGTV to come in and do their kitchen for him for free. And they did it, and they filmed it, and then they left it. And there's a lot of stuff that looks good on camera that you'd have to be available physically to walk around and see. And I'll just say there's a significant difference between work that's done for 30 seconds of filming and work that's done for a lifetime, or at least a generation. And anyways, I got called back to do some stuff after they were gone. And then they asked me if I would do the bathroom, since the brother had lost a leg. They wanted a sink that he could bring the wheelchair up to comfortably and have room underneath for the rest of him. And they also wanted this bathroom to be pitched where there's a drain to the shower and just a general drain in the floor, just in case there's an accident. Because, you know, older gentleman, there's a lot of history, needed some help in that regard. So that was the first fully waterproof bathroom floor, the entire floor of the whole room, that I'd ever done. And then they wanted it all in white Carrara marble, various tile sizes and whatnot. And to this day, it looks great. To this day, it looks great. That's hilarious. My buddy the mechanic has like one of those truckers headsets for his phone. That dude is always on the phone. It's quite a while. So now what I'm doing is putting a little chamfer. I want a hard angle up here at the top. I want a chamfer down here at the bottom. Kind of give the illusion that this is a two-piece, you know. And then it just, you know, it's a nice divide between the design portion and the not design portion of the cane. The better those corners line up, the more effective the illusion is. You kidding me? I don't know exactly what I'll do about some of those little scratches where I slip beyond that, but I've got an idea that I'll probably end up just putting a heavy grit, light sand on it and then working it down from there. That's what I imagine is going to happen. I like this little bar right here. It's a nice little flat file that does a good job all around. That little pointed tip, that really lets me get to some of these grooves a little better. These little corners right here where I got these scratches to pull out. I'm doing the same thing over here. Just tapering down towards the pattern. Get a nice little bevel on it, like everything is tucking down underneath. I do sort of like that rounded tucking into the square. It almost looks like it's being constricted, but being constricted by a very rigid ribbon. Which is an interesting phenomenon. Thanks again for your likes. I know you're busy. Appreciate it. Thanks for just taking the time. I am going to take a 5-second pause, light up this laptop calls or your text. Oh, okay. Crazy Country says hi. How you doing? Yeah. Sometimes I'm muting when my mechanic friend comes in here. He's not aware of the camera. I don't want him and his business exposed. What I'm making is a cane. It's for a friend of mine, older guy but a tough guy and a stylish guy. I kind of want to make something worthy of all those things. So I'm making the second version of the Big Daddy cane. How's it going, Ivan? How are you? Yes, sir. Still working that stick. Hey, Raja. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And Nicholas. Yep. Cane. Really loving your lines, especially the handle. Oh, I thank that very much. I thank you. Very, I wasn't sure how the handle was going to come off. A lot of canes that I looked at when I was trying to come up with an idea of the design were very dainty looking. And I don't know dainty men. And I don't think that gaining some age means you have to become dainty. And so, decided to make something a little more appropriate and a little more fitting. To my buddy. He's one of the first guys that taught me a trade back in the early 90s. The first guy that taught me how to nail shingles. But as I've learned to practice on the mallets a little bit, get a little bit more confidence with the canes, and I don't think with either I'm some great expert, but I don't feel like an absolute sucker in the game right now, so that's a win for me. And again, I like this because it establishes a nice hard line up this side and a nice soft line on the back side, which follows our theme of kind of this ribbon tucking inside of. Okay, so we're just trying a couple of things here. This is the first time I did a 3-piece glue up. It's only the second cane I've built, maybe third. I built one, never finished this one, so I don't know if I can call it built yet. But today I think I'm going to put the final finish on this now that I've got the boiled linseed oil. And I think I'm going to put a little more fire on the edges just to give it a little bit more depth. Anyway, that's what the effort is going to be. A fine line between dainty and refined. It's pretty interesting. Might I suggest trying some basic inlay work? Really surprisingly easy to do with some single strand copper wire. What's up, Big Daddy Kane says Big Mex. Big Mex, what's up? Yes. Now, Ivan, interestingly enough, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this here while you've been in the room, but I did try that once. It was a success until it wasn't, because I did use the tool. I'll show you real quick what happened. But I don't think this is the application you're referencing, but this is why I'm hesitant. I got so many mallets everywhere. Well, I built this mallet with that intention, and I did put the grooves in there, and they just kept coming out. One of them just kept popping out and looking goofy, and then I was like, oh, I'll just try to glue it in there. I did that, try to hold it in, try to fix it, and then it just ended up chipping and making that edge weak. And I did love this mallet. I still use it for like deck building, but I didn't do it well then, and so I'm not sure why it didn't work well or why it didn't stay. If it was I needed to have a thinner, narrower groove for it to go in and then maybe force it in. But then I was worried about if I used something to tap it in, would I bend it and make it look dented in the area? Gave me a little anxiety. So, Big Mix, what you up to today, brother? How's the channel? How's your health? I think Big Mix got every one of my Big Daddy Kane references and threw in a few of his own on those shorts when I did this. Special place in my heart for that, broski. Ivan says, I had the same experience. Try using a chisel instead of a saw, and then you especially force the wire into a groove and sand it down together. That may be an idea. That might look good with the with this chestnut. That might be a nice contrast. And wildly enough, I do keep scrap wire whenever I do an electrical wiring job or something. I keep my scrap for that reason, so that I can integrate it in some design or something. So that's a good idea. I will try that, because last time I definitely used a little saw and then followed those grooves. So I appreciate the context. Now we're gonna put another sand on it. I think I'm gonna do 2 more sands. I want to say 1, but it's not realistic. It's not. I want to go to something like a 220 and then something like a 400. But I might stop at the 220. But I do like the feel of the 4. But right now we're going to go to 180 because that's what I apparently have available. And it'll do just as good a job. Now, part of the dainty that I was referencing was that these canes were very slender, thin. And I do happen to know that these gentlemen like to go on walks. And like all major cities now, there are dogs that dug out from under their fences or got off their leashes or whatever else, and just live in the woods. But I want the stick to be a suitable tool if needed in that scenario. And the two things are durable and a good handle grip. Grip is everything on a cane. Strength is at the top of the list as well. And how crazy would I feel if somebody's cane snapped on them? Ugh, I'd be terrible. I'd be mortified. So my canes, I think, are a little bit thicker, a little bit hardier. And I want it to be a little bit better designed than what's out there for the OGs. Like, we don't want to build canes for our grandfathers. We want to build them for our fathers, right? And those are different dudes than our grandfathers were, maybe. Ivan says, that'll definitely pop. Amazing. Been busy, Big Mac says, been busy, and yes, I did get all your videos. I grew up with the old school music. That's what's up. The Herbal is back in the building, says, how you doing today? I'm good, Herbal. How you doing today? Has everybody hit the like button so that we can properly get our just dues from this algorithmic circumstantial situation? Forgive me, I'm working on different ways to beg, so if it don't sound right, let me know in the comments. Because I will not front. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel bad for even saying it out loud. But until I was actually a subscriber, like a channel that was posting videos, I never thought of hitting the like button unless somebody said it, and then it used to annoy me a little bit if they said it too much. And now I get it, because it's a world of difference between those videos that have the likes and those that don't. But because I remember that was not an act of malice at all on my part, I just didn't think about it, and I just didn't know it. I mean, it's free stuff, so why go through an extra step? Which is still reasonable. There's some benefit to just watching it at all. But that was my thinking, and then I feel bad. So now when I am on and I see anybody who is live or anybody's video that I watch and enjoy, I will always do it now. I think I'm trying to relieve karmic debt that I've got to the algorithm. You know what I mean? Because you just don't think of it. Like, you're watching what you're watching. Nobody gets up from the TV to go push a button. You know what I mean? Unless you're turning the volume down. But this 180 is doing pretty good. It's enough to knock down anything I might have missed with the heavy stuff. And it's nice enough to refine some of the stuff that I'm also trying to refine in this pass as well. See if I can save myself a little bit of effort on the cleanup. Get y'all back. Sorry about that. Every time I talk about likes, cut my audience in half. Literally half of this drop off. And I don't know which is better. Not mentioning it, not getting any likes, but not losing people, or mentioning it and losing half the people. Maybe just the gratitude of the ones when I see the lights pop up. Try that. Just be grateful. That's the answer for most things anyway. Just be grateful. So this grit is also going to knock out a bunch of the scratches that 100 grit would do. And on some of the handle, I roll against the grain because it's so much curvature. But if you can, you always want to sand with the grain. Otherwise, get a much less refined circumstance. Back here, I think I need to bump up to the heavy grit again, just to get some of this material out of here. Kind of go in circles because I don't have my jig with me that just sands the circles out. This is going all right. Ivan says, for that, I would definitely advise looking at African konipikiri, our traditional fighting sticks, for some inspiration. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. I thank you for putting that in the chat so that now I can appropriately put it in my search bar. Thank you, Ivan. But honestly, the 3-part lamination combined with your handle is definitely going to work a treat. I appreciate that. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, says the Herbal. And Alan Martell said, hi. What's up, Alan? Ivan says, you deserve the like without a doubt. Yes, sir. Very much grateful myself for this community. I am too. It's a blast. It has been an enjoyable ride the whole way so far. Like, really. I've got some regular people like you that come in here, and it really is somewhat akin to going to your neighborhood club and seeing some of your buddies throw darts and shoot pool with, you know? Talk about your day, share a few stories. I mean, sometimes when I'm caught up, you know, in the actual act of doing the work, that's a little less mindless than the sanding. I have such good people in there that'll just sit there and chat with each other and keep that chat going. And sometimes I'm jealous I didn't get to get in the conversation because I was busy trying not to cut my fingers off. But I am glad that I did this. The refinement of it as I keep going gets a little bit nicer, feel a little bit better each time I make a pass on something. So hopefully when I'm done with this sanding pass and then we hit the 200 here again, then I'll be good to move forward. Hold on, I gotta mute you. This guy trying to tell me the truck is done. Let's see. Prove it. Sorry, y'all. We over here bringing my girlfriend back to life. My life partner. And I had some trouble that was beyond me. Passmore comes out here and holds me up. Damn. It's good to have friends with skills.
Exactly. The lady, she mentioned to me, she was like, that's your truck out there? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I like that. I said, I'm going to have to take you to lunch.
Oh, Passmore, this thing right here is a beast. It's a big old monster. But it ain't like we ain't without our own monsters over here. Big Shirley. Huh? You ready to fire it up? Yeah. All right. And Laverne, who we're getting in right now. Let's see. Warms my soul. Warms my soul. Because all of this work that I'm doing, it's like, y'all don't even know. This truck is like the tool that carries the tools. You know what I mean? So it's like a big piece of the puzzle. So glad to give my girl thumping again. But I'm gonna take care of Walt real quick, taking care of me, and then I'll be back to finish up that cane, because I'm finishing that today and the other. And I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Hit the like before you go, if you would, please, please. I'll leave this open for a few more seconds while you do. Thank you so much, everybody. Down. Ivan, I'll holler back at you. Peace, Mike. Hit the like.
Yeah, I do. Appreciate you, Ak.